Hello, my lovely Scorpios. I hope that y'all are doing well. Okay, so we have, welcome to Vivid Vibration. My name is Christina. If this video resonates with you, please give me a like, share, and subscribe. Okay, Scorps. So we have the vessel, the bardo, the mirror, the storm, the box, the mountain, the flame, and the healer. Oh, Scorpios. I just got goosebumps. Okay, I want to start with the mirror and the vessel because it's just this idea of like, do I build it or do I break it? But like recognizing the fact that the information that you're using to decide whether or not you want to move forward with something is partial information. You know, for some of my Scorpios, it could be that you're on the other side of the story and that you're dealing with people who are just like on some like partial information type of energy, you know. But again, it's either way, take it how it resonates. It's just this idea of like, do you build it or do you break it? You know, like, can there be a way out when you can't really understand? Like, there's so much confusion surrounding the situation because of all of these fractured ideas that it's like, can I even get out of this box? You know, but like, how can I, every time I think that I get out, you know, it's like you're in a maze and it's like I get out of one room and I'm stuck in another and this one's smaller and, you know, like more confining and the more confining it gets, it's almost like the more like, because, you know, people, it's like the idea of telephone, like one person will say one thing and then they'll take that and tell that person. By the time you get to the end of the line, it's like so far from like whatever it was originally said or whatever originally occurred, right? And so it's just kind of this idea of like, how do I get out of this? Is it even possible to bring healing to this situation? And I think having to really kind of like slow down and see the in between, right? Because when things don't make sense, you know, it's just kind of that idea of like there's an element of truth in all of it. So like you got to like piece together the parts of it that are true to like, do you know, like understand, and I got to see what was going on here before I can really understand what happened there. And then once I do that, then I can go here and I can understand this, and you know what I mean? But it's just like this idea of like going through a maze. I think that when you were going through this maze, you were uncovering, you know, like the treasure of you, the treasure of your ability to bring understanding and create resolution, because you're able to see outside of what's just like immediately brought to your attention. Because I think like a strength of Scorpios that like not everyone is blessed with is this ability to really like digest and dig deeper, right? Like somebody can present something to you and you're like, well, that's not enough information. Let me really understand, right? And so you don't get swept up as easily in like fractured ideas and fractured truths, right? And so I feel like there's this idea of like, can I move forward towards something that I want? Like, am I able to like break past like this fractured truth that keeps getting like causing confusion and creating limitations? Can I heal this? And I want to say, this could be you, right? Can I heal me? Can I heal myself enough to get out of this so that I can go towards what it is that I really want, right? Whether that's a career that you've just like put on hold and you are ready to really go for it. You know what I mean? But like you've been broken and you've been, you know, pieced out and trying to like sort through and understand all of these things so that you can get back to your goal, right? Like you got sent through the maze, but like you're still on the same course. You know what I mean? Only now that you exited the maze, you feel like you have so much more understanding. And so like, while it sucks that you had to go through the maze, it's like, well, your hell is stronger now. So like you're prepared for this next level, right? Scorps. Hope y'all are doing well. Thank you so much for all of the views that you guys give me and the likes and the comments. I love it. Super appreciate it. Just wanted to say thanks. It does very much help. So, okay, Scorps. We have the Nine of Swords, the Lovers, the Hierophant, and the Knight of Wands. again, I mean, this is just a lot of like illumination and understanding, right? Like you've gone through the maze. So now it's like you acquired all these extra, I think of like a video game. And like if you don't go, I don't know, like if you don't go in this building, like you're in one of those games where you're like in a map or something and it's like you got to stop at all the places. But if you didn't stop at this building, then you wouldn't have gotten all of the like the level ups that you got. You know what I mean? Like all of the coins or like first aid kits or like weapons or whatever it is that you acquire in these buildings, right? Um, my sons play Call of Duty, so but it's just this idea that like you have so much more awareness, you have so much more power to like step forward into this new endeavor. I think with a really just way better level of confidence. You know what I mean? I feel like you just feel stronger and smarter and better. It's like that. Like I said, I don't know which read it was, but the idea of like Scorpios, it's like, take me out and I'll come back times three. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's what you're doing. And you're stepping out of this, like consistent being taken out, coming back consistently times three. You know what I mean? Which is like fierce. But, going towards what you love, because I think that there's something that you're very drawn to. And I think that you're getting an opportunity, right? Like whether it's that like that call that you've been waiting on for that job, so you can really like go to that next level, or like the call about your new place, and you can finally move, and you can finally start like focusing on a life that you love and a life that you enjoy. Like however it plays out for you. Scorps. Death, the Six of Pentacles, and the Three of Cups. Yeah, I mean, there is an idea here, because death and transformation, again, it's that idea of the maze, and you get out of the maze and then you come back. And like when you're in the maze, you feel like you're completely disconnected and you're missing out on all of these things. And oh my God, is this ever going to end? You know what I mean? And then coming out the other side, a completely different person. But I think somebody who, again, is better prepared to really enjoy life, right? It's that idea of, that was in another one of your reads too, of like getting out of that energy, like sitting in that room by yourself and getting out of that energy, because you can't move forward to that next version of yourself until you step out of that energy. And I think you're doing just that, stepping out of that energy and into one that is a lot more celebratory and joyous and happy. And I love. Okay. Scorps. Death again, the Eight of Cups, and the Eight of Wands. Well, yeah, I mean, basically the same message, but again, this idea of like leaving behind what was to go to, better things, right? Like that cycle is ended. Like you've showed up differently, and now you're ready to very quickly go towards what it is that is your next thing. All right, Scorps. The comic. So this card is the idea of, so people always say, like the smarter you are, like the harder it is for you to be happy. And this card really just contradicts that entirely. And I love that because the idea here is that it takes a strength of character and a strength of knowledge. Like you can be smart, but just being head smart doesn't mean that you have a strong character. Right. And it's like that mentality of, in order to, like you have to be dumb to be happy is a cop out for emotional development. But we live in a very patriarchal society that has, kind of like villainized the feminine natures and gifts, you know what I mean? And minimized them and treated them as though they were frivolous and a novelty rather than a necessity. And it's like, no, because emotional intelligence allows you the opportunity to, and that's not to say my men don't have that ability. I'm just saying like culturally. But whatever. Anyway, so I forgot what I was saying. Oh, it takes a level of, like of strengthening up to be able to not only, like be smart enough to understand it, but be emotionally intelligent enough to process it and find a way to see the good in it all, and be able to laugh, right? Like if you can't laugh, then you've fallen short somehow on your levels of intelligence, right? Like you capped out at logical intelligence and totally left the emotional intelligence to the side. And I feel like you've you've strengthened your emotional intelligence to match your logical intelligence, to be ready to like elevate who it is that you surround yourself with. Because if you yourself aren't practicing emotional intelligence and developing that skill regularly and maintaining that skill regularly, then you are very easily swept up in the energy of people who are also, like capped out at that logical energy. And I think that you've sorted your way through it, seeing how you are a part of it, seeing how it is that you can, like why it is that you draw that into you, and how it is that, like you've operated from a place of insecurity, and how it is that like you can approach things differently and really, move forward, finding the, like a higher level of intelligence, like being smart does not mean being miserable. Like that's a lie. I would just like to state that as fact. All right, Scorps, I love y'all so much. I hope this resonates with you. Please give me a like, share, and subscribe if it does, and I will see y'all again soon. Bye.